Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have kind of like a channeled message and experience that I want to go over with all of you. Let me pull this up for all of you. So all of these, everything that I have written down for you guys for the next several videos is something that maybe happened over the last 2 weeks. So the event is not super sharp in my mind, but I'm going to go over it with you because I think there's valuable information um, in my experiences, even when my experiences are ones of struggle, because the energies that we've been going through for July have not been easy. It's definitely been bringing to the surface uh, the struggles, the blocks, the self-limiting beliefs, the kind of everyone's own darkness, right? Our own demons, if you will, demons, are coming to the surface right now, and this is probably likely to continue into August, probably around the time of the Lionsgate portal is probably when the energies will shift a little bit and get a little bit nicer to us. But realistically, the year that we're in, 2025, if you add all those numbers together, this is a 9 year. The numerology of 9 is tied into closing out cycles, and so that's the energy of this entire year. So because of that, it is beneficial for the spiritual world to keep showing us where we need to change, where we have stagnant energy, where we have resistance, because those are the those are the places that we would benefit most from changing, from healing, from growing. So it's annoying for us because our guides keep saying, hey, you have that problem with anger, or you're avoiding this because you're scared of it, or whatever the issue is. Things keep coming back up for us, and so it's frustrating for us because we're like, I just want to live. I just want to live. I don't want to have to change and grow all the time. But our guides are like, you are there. You are incarnated to change and grow all the time. And so they're doing their job by bringing these things up to us. They are serving our best and highest interest by doing that. So don't be surprised if that's what's been going on in your life this year and what continues to go on in your life this year. Let me see if I can... Every time I talk to you guys, I lose my place, which probably means Metatron just wants me to talk more right now. By the way, on August 8th, which is 8/8, I do plan on doing a YouTube live session. I'm probably going to do that at, I'm going to say 12. Is 12 too late? No. I'm probably going to do that at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. CEST, and hopefully all of you can do your calculations if you're not one of those time zones. If you're in in the England time zone, it'll be 6 p.m. your time, or I guess the equivalent would be like 1800. Look at me trying to do all these calculations. Okay, so that's the time I'm going to do YouTube Live, if any of you are interested. I also plan on doing a YouTube Live on 9/9, so September 9th. So if you just like to know these things ahead of time, make a little note in your calendar. I will officially put out some graphics that announce this process at some point. What I'm really going to have to do is go like this and go, Susan, my business partner, Susan, master of graphics, can you please please make me some graphics. She was a graphic designer in her past existence in this lifetime, and so she is amazing at that, and we benefit very much from her skill set. Okay, all that said, let me kind of tell you what this video's supposed to be about. And I honestly don't remember, so I might just read this to you. So I had a sudden kind of ache in my back. So it was the middle of my back, and it was kind of like the equivalent spot of the solar plexus. So solar plexus in the front, but it was the equivalent spot in the back. So the pain is dull but strong, coming out of nowhere and building quickly. Have you guys ever had that happen before? I don't normally have that. So some part of my body hurts, starts picking up pain really quickly, and so I'm like looking to Metatron, and I said, is trauma trying to come out? And if you've been watching my videos, you'll already know this, but if you're new to my video, if this is the first time you've ever watched one of mine, I channel my spirit guides. My spirit guides are overlapped with my body, so Metatron especially will answer using my body. So in a very physical way, I will get a yes on the right side of my body or a no on the left side of my body. So in this case, I'm going to mimic it right now. He basically did like that, was the equivalent. And so that's one of the ways, that wasn't him just now, but that's one of the ways that he will say yes, is using the right side, or no for the left. So I'm like, hey, is trauma trying to come out? He squeezes my right hand. I begin breathing deeply because I'm like, okay, whenever there's trauma trying to come out of your body, if you breathe deeply, the oxygen itself is extremely like magical, powerful, beyond our understanding. That supports all processes in the body. So I did that. It also sometimes breathing deeply will relax the physical body, which is what you want. If you are trying to release energy, you want a relaxed physical body, because if you're tight, if you're physically kind of like this, the energy can't leave. You have to, your willpower has to be part of this, and you have to kind of open yourself up and relax also. It'll help it to not be as uncomfortable, and it might even just help it to move out completely. So I asked him, I was like, Metatron, should I move? Should I like wiggle this thing out? Because that's another piece of wisdom that I've been given in the past, where moving your body physically absolutely can help you to release traumas that have already been processed. So if you've already felt the emotions you needed to feel, and for some reason your body's still holding on to something, if you go jogging, or if you do some like yoga or some stretching, that will naturally release that energy that you no longer need from your physical body. So I'm asking Metatron, should I move to get this out? And he squeezes my hand on the opposite side. He says a no answer. And I'm like, is this ready to come out? Because basically what that meant was, if movement won't help it, that means I haven't processed it yet. So I said, is it ready to come out? Suddenly, I remember an event from earlier in the day that poked an emotional wound I have been carrying. But this time, it brings forward tears. So that's actually, that's an indicator too. So I thought about something that happened earlier in the day, and it made me, I got an emotional reaction. Well, that means there's trauma there, right? I did not suddenly remember that event on my own. My guides showed it to me, knowing it was needed to process the trauma that was painfully wanting to exit my back. 3 minutes of crying, about, I don't know, I didn't time it, but I'm guessing, about 3 minutes of crying, and the pain in my back disappeared. The portion of the energetic trauma that surfaced today was finally released. It is a deep wound that I'm working on, so there will be more tears on other days. But for now, I am successful, thanks to my spirit guides. I was gonna just chat with you guys, but Metatron's like, no, go back to your message. So let me go back to my message. Is there an area of your life where you struggle painfully? Have you ever met someone who was deeply blessed in the same areas where you struggle? This was my experience on that day. And my reaction to them was not envy. It was kind of like surprise. I was like, wow, somebody can be like very, very blessed in this same area where I feel like I have no traction whatsoever, right? So they're super blessed in the area where I'm like, no, this is a really hard thing. And it just seemed like it came so easily to them. So it was just kind of like blew my mind. I was surprised that not everyone struggled in that way. I have had mental limitations on myself in that area for so long that I stopped believing anything else was even possible. Are you perhaps doing this too? Just because you have always experienced lack in a certain area of your life does not mean that nothing else is possible for you in that area. It only means that your mindset has remained the same thus far in your lifetime. My guides present me with the evidence from someone else's life to shine a light on my own limiting belief that's poisoning that area of my life. The spiritual journey is about increasing awareness of yourself. This process is ongoing with your spirit guides. Choosing which thoughts and behaviors to call your attention to and at which times. We cannot reach spiritual freedom if we stop challenging ourselves to improve. Becoming aware of a limiting belief is the first step. But now, how am I going to change that? And so I was asking Metatron for advice. I was like, so, okay, I get it. I'm limiting my beliefs of what I think is possible in this area. So what should I do? Should I start using like a daily affirmation to tell myself the opposite of what I think so that I can kind of rewrite that thought? And that is a very valid method, by the way. It's a very valid method. When I asked Metatron about it, though, he moved my left foot. He moved my no foot. So I'm like, okay. Metatron shows me that the root cause of the limiting belief is mixed with fear. I am afraid that I cannot access this abundance. I cry at this thought, which if you have a thought and you cry at the thought, well, one, you have trauma around that, but it's also valid. It's like a spiritual validation a lot of times. I cry at the thought, validating its importance to my healing, and release another piece of the trauma. After a long pause of being lost in my thoughts, I feel energy entering both of my feet. It is Metatron balancing my root chakra, the location of fear and security or insecurity. And so most of you are probably familiar with the root chakra. It's at the base of your torso, the equivalent spot of like where your genitals are. The chakras in your feet are like extensions of the root chakra, just as the chakras in your hands are extensions of the heart chakra. I cry again for Metatron's compassion for me. Some may imagine communicating with a spirit guide to provide quick answers and solutions not available to those without the ability, but typically it is not so. I am denied answers at times, and more often than not, I am left to figure things out, just like anyone else. Struggle is not erased from speaking with your spirit guides. It just makes you more aware that you have a team who supports you through it. Metatron's choice to intervene to heal me without me even asking about it, that's very Metatron. Like, that is just his energy. To do something super loving like that without even being asked, that's totally him. And so I just responded with such gratitude for him. He does not have to do it, but he chose to. He wants me to heal from this too. It would not serve me for him to remove the struggle. So instead, he lets me stumble around with it. And as I make choices to focus on what I need to heal, he responds with support to help me reach the goal. So your spirit guides are doing this too, right? So he's pointing out, I have a limiting thought, and then I had a choice. I could have gone, that's nice. I have a limiting thought, whatever. I'll get around to that later. But instead I was like, okay, how do I fix this? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I'm proactively trying to come up with solutions. And so me doing that, me showing interest in wanting to heal and coming up with solutions for myself, open the door for him to step in and help me out. And so that's important for all of you as well, because the same exact thing can happen or has happened with you. And maybe you just didn't know it, right? Because maybe you're not tuned into hearing your guides or feeling them or seeing them or whatever. So maybe you didn't know it happened, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen to you. Let me scroll back to my place. So the reason I wanted to say all this also is I think a lot of people at times feel like, man, I just want to channel my guides because they feel like that's going to remove struggles from their life, and it's not. Channeling your guides will take absolutely zero problems off of your plate. It just means you have really cool beings to communicate with all the time. But it's not like you're going to say, hey, tell me what to do next. They're going to go, that's not my job. They don't tell you what to do next. We have to decide what we want to do next, and then they support us through our decisions. It's not like you start talking to your guides and they all of a sudden give you the playbook and you know the answers. I get less answers for myself normally, or at least it feels like it, than my clients. I feel like I can get more answers from my clients. But you can't get any answers from any guide that you're not ready to get, right? And so if it's not truly serving your best interests, you won't get it because they're not going to give you a shortcut around something you need to learn. Let's see. I feel more grounded now that he has balanced my root chakra. The fear is no longer present. So that was nice. In these moments, it does not feel like progress is being made, but it is. Healing is a marathon. And your only obligation is to allow the emotions that surface for you today to be felt. They do not always make sense. They do not always feel resolved at the end. Yet, emotional release and emotional expression through creative means releases what is no longer serving your highest interests, leaving behind a more balanced and more aware individual. So, all of that to say, yes, healing is a marathon. No one, me, and no one watching this video, and no one not watching this video, is going to get to the point in their life where you've completed all your healing. We will always have something to heal, and don't let that overwhelm you. Don't let that frustrate you. That doesn't have to be a problem. It's a blessing, really. It's an opportunity. Because our guides don't stop with our guides don't stop with the trauma we received in this lifetime. They will return to other lifetimes. And truly, if somebody was so good at healing that they healed everything of theirs from this lifetime and everything of theirs from a past lifetime, I have no doubt that you would start being in charge of like collective healing, and you would start contributing to other beings that needed help. So there's always going to be healing. Don't let it frustrate you. See it as an opportunity, and know that you don't need. It's kind of like how we should be viewing all of our life. It doesn't matter what all the healing that you have left. That doesn't really matter. All that matters is what's going on for you energetically today. Today, do you feel triggered? Today, do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Are you having an emotional moment? If you are, just pay attention to that moment and let that moment process itself. That's your job. It doesn't matter what you need to do tomorrow or next week or 20 years from now. It's just whatever's popping up for you today. And so in that way, it's almost like a lot of the responsibility for us healing ourselves is kind of removed from us, because our guides take care of that. Our guides put the right experiences in front of us at the right time in the right way, and then we choose how we react. And if we choose to feel the emotions and we choose to experience it, then it makes the process go more easily and faster. And if we go, nope, I'm not ready to look at that yet, then it'll come back later, usually in a slightly stronger way, to get our attention a little bit more. And then again, it goes back to us. How do you want to respond to that? And then we make our choice, and then life goes, and then keep going down the journey, right? And every single choice breaks off your pathway in a different direction. So we have complete control of where the pathway goes, but we have to be willing to get a little bit uncomfortable temporarily to kind of earn and gain those long-term healing benefits. Okay. So that's the situation that I wanted to share with all of you for obvious reasons, I think. Don't be surprised if you're going to be if you're being triggered lately on all these things. It's just part of the year we're in. It's part of the year next year too. 2026 is a 10-year. So 10 is associated with completing cycles and beginning new things. So we'll still be facing similar energies through this year and into next year for sure. If you are, I still haven't, there's all these things I could talk to you guys about right now. There really are. I have so many things I could talk to you guys about. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep making videos, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to cover all these topics with all of you. If you are interested in getting the Clearing 101 Closing Portals training, now is a good time, because the next training will be coming out. I'm not sure when. I'm going to say maybe 3 weeks. I'm guessing. I'm working hard at it. There's a lot of material in that second training course. And in order to sign up for that second training course, you need the first training course. You need those skill sets, because the second training course is going to build on those skill sets. I'm going to refer back to that skill set, and then we're going to keep talking about completely different things. The second training course is about clearing the land. These sessions are useful honestly, these are useful for everybody. So these are useful if you just want to take some control, take some power back, and be able to clear your own space efficiently. Like like somebody like myself, you want to be able to clean your space efficiently. You want to be able to clear your office. You want to be able to clear your family's homes. You want to be able to clear the road that you travel down every day, and the grocery store, and whatever. You can, I mean, the more you clear, the more you use these skill sets, the more you help yourself, the more you help the planet, the more you help everyone around you. So it's like a win-win-win situation. So even if you're just learning the closing portals training, you are helping yourself, your neighbors, the planet. And if you decide to continue with additional trainings, again, you're just adding to the benefit that you can place into the land and yourself, because ultimately there are dark energies that can reside within the land, that can create these portals, which are ways to travel quickly into a certain area. And so if you have a demonic portal open, or you have a dark galactic portal open, whether it's at your home, your work, or somewhere you go to frequently, you will be impacted by those energies, because that means, like, let's say, for example, a demonic portal. Let's say you have one in your home. So that means you have more demons in your home than maybe somebody without a portal would have. Demons are everywhere all the time, so they literally are everywhere all the time. So there's no avoiding them, because we're on a 3D planet. But if you have a portal of theirs set up nearby, you're going to have more of them in your home, which means you're more likely to have impatience, short tempers, arguments, depression, anxiety, chronic worrying. Like it can spread out in a lot of different ways, right? And those are just some of the ways. Obviously, to remove those energies from a space, you are gifting yourself with more freedom, and a better day, and a better week, and better relationships. It's so far stretching, because how we think and how we behave is the same way, right? How we think and how we behave impacts everyone around us. So for us to be able to clear something external that is negatively impacting how we think and how we behave, that's awesome. That's a quick win. So that training's available if you're interested. Second one is not available yet, but coming soon. I think I'm just going to go ahead and end this video here. Susan has a brand new session for the throat. I want to say, I didn't write it down. Let me look it up so I get the correct name. So it's actually if you see the picture of this crystal grid, it's so beautiful. And I have to talk to her about this, because she placed the service pretty far down on the list. Makes it hard to find. We have to move that thing to the top. Okay. Oh, she has it right under the solar plexus reconnect. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, you can, right? There we go. If you can kind of see that picture. Really pretty grid that she made. Lots of movement in it. And so that's the throat chakra healing and activation. This is a good session. If you are struggling at all with your throat chakra, if you're struggling with speaking up, with expressing yourself, and it doesn't have to be expressing yourself verbally. This could be like you're struggling to express yourself in your art, you're struggling to connect with your individuality or your originality, struggling to write. We're all going to come back here to the throat chakra. So that is a new session of hers that's available now. If you are interested, if you click, I'll link it underneath the video, but if you click on the link, it'll give you more information about how that service will assist you. You see, do you feel unheard? that your voice doesn't matter? Do you work with your voice? Do you teach? Do you sing? Do you communicate with others? This session can help you to clear the blocks and restrictions that have been in place, can allow you to speak with greater ease and clarity, with greater confidence and power, can help you to find your voice, to let go of fears and hesitations, can amplify your voice and its vibration, allowing you to move beyond restrictions that have slowed your path. So check that service out if you're interested. There's a whole lot. She has a whole lot more information on the website if you're interested. So this is all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.